All right. Hello. Hello, everybody. Trying to get the music to balance out. It's not too quiet. So I want to be able to hear myself think. There we go. Yeah, perfect. Volume management will always be my #1 enemy. But like that, we are back. Actually, yeah, perfect, okay. Can just zoom in a little bit. Actually, I like it like that. Perfect. I see there's a Zaki in the chat. Who else is around? Oh yeah, and real quick I'm gonna open up something else. Boom. Alright. So today's main goal is just to kind of work on commissions and different other pieces of artwork that I've had in the works for a minute. We're just gonna kind of vibe out. Oh, you're working on stuff too, Zaki? That's cool. Oh shit. Well, let me abduct you then, friend.
Yo, what up?
Yo, are you alive?
So I'll like, probably be around for like an hour before I have to do the thing I said. Being very vague. Yeah, it's just an odd job that I have to tackle soon. But yeah, that's what I'm up to today.
Yeah, you're all good, dude. I know this is
Well,
a little more
also some stuff I'm working on for the secret project.
Yes, the secret. I have some stuff that I have lined up to today that is technically for the secret project, but we're pretty close to just being able to like really talk about it anyway. No, I know this was
just a little bit more
last minute, but I just needed I needed a reason to just zone in and stream and draw today.
Good.
Because I knew I had stuff I needed to get done, and then I put it off, and I put it off, and I put it off, and it's like, I can't be doing that.
Been kind of on and off with work lately, but making better progress than before.
Well, that's good.
Like, you saw what I was doing yesterday.
Oh yeah, you're making really good progress. I think I showed off all the character art I got done.
Yeah, I liked how that turned out so far. Oh, right, I was gonna say, the air quality is kind of gross today. Because there was a forest fire up in Canada, and all the smoke drifted eastward.
Zaki, are you starting fires again? No, but that's not good. It's just
And
been...
it could be a lot worse, but it's still concerning.
Yeah. No, that's totally fair. Especially, like, with the respiratory issues, like, they already have with pollen and stuff. Like, that's never a good mix at all.
Yeah,
The biggest
I
problem...
think the fires were like at the edge of Canada, like north of Minnesota.
Those are different fire and whiskey. Alright, Zachy. I guess you didn't do it this time. It's hard for me to like comment on the air quality because it's all just like swamp to me. Like everything's heavy and humid and hot all the time.
I mean, swampy is very different than smoky air.
No, most definitely. There's both forest fires and then controlled burns down here, so we also get some of that, but it's definitely still a little bit more scary when it's a spontaneous forest fire.
Yeah. Like, I only think I had like one recent forest fire in the state, but that was like way away. I was on top of a mountain too.
Someone rolled a 20 on the fucking flame spire. Anyway, I definitely want to do a few more streams here. Make it another regular occurrence.
You know, I'm down for that.
Oh yeah. This is still so hard because I want to be like, oh, and by the way, here's here's all the information about the secret thing that we're working on right now, and it's like, stop saying words.
Just like another week or so.
I know.
We're so close.
Oh, but something I am definitely going to do here, probably before and during like the Battle Dome celebration, is I'm going to be like playing Deltarune. I'm absolutely going to be starting Deltarune. And I'm very excited about it because there's just so much there in the new chapter that I'm finally like, okay, yeah, it's worth purchasing. Me doing secret project stuff. Oh, hey Grim, what's up? That's all good. No spoilers. Yeah, no, definitely. I'm not gonna give out any spoilers for the new chapter if you haven't seen them already. But if you're going to be here for the streams, I will be streaming Deltarune. Cause like, and beforehand too, I was kind of just like, well, I have to do Undertale first if I stream Deltarune. But I'll be honest, I really don't want to replay Undertale again. It's not that I don't like the game, but it's like, guys, there's only so many times I can like play Sonic 2. You know what I mean? It's like, oh boy, here we go again. Oh, it was meant for secret project. Gotcha, Zaki. Yeah. I'm killing it recently with all these crazy poses, honestly. Like, this one's not, like, crazy per se, but, like, I've just been doing really good
They
recently.
from the mind's eye, or were you referencing something?
I just, and that's the other things, I haven't really been using references as much recently either. I've kind of just been, like, going with vibes.
I'm trying to use more references because whenever I try to draw from, like lately when I draw from the mind's eye, I have trouble drawing poses or like drawing like more complex poses. You know, 'cause otherwise they kind of just turn to like bootleg Mega Man like official art.
Yeah, I was
Like
using...
it's just my brain like misremembering that stuff.
Yeah, yeah. No, I was, what was the word? Like, I was using, references not that long ago, because I was kind of having a little bit of, like, art block, but I don't know, something, like, kicked back over in me, and it's like, no, I know what I'm doing.
Good.
I think I went through some of my older notes, too, and kind of just, like, started, God damn it, I'm already forgetting what words are this early in stream. But I went through and just like cross-reference, there we go, cross-reference some of my notes with like things that I've been struggling with recently. And it's been helping because like, you know, you on the art journey that you go on, like you can learn things and be like, oh, okay, cool, that works for me. But just as easy as you can learn something, you can then forget it. And then later down the line, you're like, oh, I'm missing something. I feel like I'm supposed to know this. What is this? And
I forgot how to shade for over a decade.
Yeah, yeah. It's like if you're not...
fair, most of the shading I did before I forgot was pillow shading with the airbrush tool, but
that's all right. We all start.
It was
somewhere.
a brief period where that did seem like I was like almost getting it. So yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't say everyone, but most people know my old artwork looks like. So it's, you know, we all do start somewhere.
Oh right, what else was I gonna say? But the other project that's not so secret.
Oh,
That
which one?
the computer.
Oh yeah, that one.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. I'm building you a new computer. Well, I said building you, but you know what I mean. It's like I'm taking it like an existing computer and adding parts to it.
Frankensteining the computer. Yeah.
It's a Mongo.
Among Us. No. Um. Very.
Like
Go ahead. Go ahead.
it's like engine swaps on a car, kind of. That's what I think.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. That actually makes a lot of sense.
It's like the computer is like probably fine for like desk work, like as is, but it needs a couple upgrades. So gotta put all that in there. Like if you want to play any games on it, you're gonna need like a decent graphics card. So gotta get like a decent power supply in order to power the graphics card. And then probably gonna want more storage, because that was a concern that you had.
Yeah, that's usually that's the biggest concern I have at the moment. Is being able to have more storage. But even also with like the aspect of having a second computer too, it would kind of just help again with like sorting through some of the stuff on this computer, because it's like over a decade old.
Oh, I thought you were just gonna put everything from the old computer on onto the new one.
I'm considering a couple different options too. Like I may even just decide to like use this computer as like my main form of like television. You know, just hook it up to like my TV instead, and then use the other one for work. Because this one's a lot better if you're just trying to like watch stuff on a computer. I love you.
Yeah, that does come in handy, having a TV screen as your monitor. Which I could probably do with my own, but I'm just lazy and I don't have to worry about cable management and like turning my head every time I want to look at the screen. Ooh, I did orange out.
You oranged out?
Like the sky is like part of, like the sky's making the sun look orange.
Oh, okay. The way I interpreted
Yeah.
what you said is that like you're greening out, but you're oranging out. I'm like, what are you
No, that's
talking about? Did you have like orange juice?
I shouldn't.
No, that's why I got concerned. I'm like, what do you mean you're oranging out? Make it look like natural as I can.
I've also realized that if I am giving your computer a graphics card and a new power supply, that means I also have like a spare power supply lying around. So if I wanted to, I could like take that and like use it for like another project and just build a PC starting with that.
Yeah, that's not a terrible idea. I mean,
I don't know what I'd use it for, but it'd be fun.
remember your old art, like how you drew whiskers on Zaki? Oh yeah, I did used to draw a whisker. It's because I used to draw my like cat furries, like my cat furry characters with whiskers, so I gave Zachy whiskers because he was part cat. Or is it cat, or is it something else feline that gives him those big old ears? Yeah, just let me know if you need anything else for the computer.
Yeah, you know. So, like I said, I'm still kind of just shopping for the parts to figure out what's actually going to be compatible. It might be a little easier once I have the actual like main tower, so I can figure out like what's left or like what's going to fit into it.
Chimera of cat, bat, and chameleon. Yeah, I always remember the chameleon part, and then I always feel like I remember he's a cat, and then I'm like, but is he dragon? But is he dragon?
But is he dragon? I'm a little annoyed that I'm hyper fixated on like PC related stuff when I should be hyper fixated on art related stuff.
I mean, the PC related stuff is helpful though.
Yeah. It came at a good time.
I've definitely
when your own PC is kind of falling apart.
I've also found myself very recently kind of just like, I don't know, feeling like I need to take a step back from like things, because like I'm always just kind of like a go type of person. Like I get something done and then I want to do the next thing immediately, no break in between. And like I definitely try to treat like everyone that helps me a little bit better than that, but yeah, I don't know, like I've just been taking some more time to like read things, to like enjoy my own little analog devices I have around the house, to like just cook stuff more. And it's been pretty nice.
Good.
I actually got the
I mentioned on Crash's stream, but I installed Linux on like another hand-me-down laptop that was like lying around the house. Oh, I might have also mentioned it in the server as well.
I was gonna say, I think you did say something about it in the server.
Yeah, I don't think I said it on stream though, but it's a project that actually turned out pretty nicely. Breathed a little bit of new life into the old PC.
Does have a sting.
The pick of Zoa that I'm working on, it's going nicely. I had to like step away for a couple days because my brain was on fire, but I'm back now.
The truth come out. Does Bruno Mars' Dragon? The answer may shock you. Thank
Number
you, Grim.
5. Surprise you.
Yeah, thankfully Zaki's pretty patient with like starting on projects. I would know. I took a year one
Yeah.
time to do a
I want to like
commission.
get it done while it's like remotely relevant because you know, birthday gift and all.
Yeah. I always, I used to be kind of known in the Sea Dream community for like randomly drawing people birthday gifts, and like it's just because I used to have more time, and then also the way the birthday system used to work on DeviantArt, you had more time because like you were reminded like every day for I think like 2 weeks up until the person's birthday. So like I would just randomly like have something ready that I'd already finished a week before and then be like, I'm just gonna drop this today. And I also used to just worry less about like the quality of my art, and I would take less
Yeah,
time
I was the
on
same
it.
way too. I also just make random gifts for people regardless of whether it was their birthday or not. Of course, now that my style is a bit more complex, I have to like have a little more foresight.
Yeah, it's that it takes me longer to bust out artwork these days, and then also I have a human adult job that's very demanding, unfortunately. It was
Even
a
without
week
work, I
notice?
still
Yeah,
like
that's right.
actual fishing stuff.
It was a
Sometimes,
week notice. And it's funny that what I'm doing here is something that I would normally be able to like accomplish with a pencil by going back over the lines just a little darker. But since I'm in, you know, the digital form, I'm just using different colors on the base to kind of get the same effect.
It's kind of like how I'm doing like cleaned up sketches, like a little bit. Oh, we got a is it, not a new person. I recognize that name.
Oh, hi, what's up?
Welcome back. At least I think I recognize that name. It's been a while since the last stream.
I think so. I think you've been here before. Yeah, welcome back. I'm working on commission right now at the moment. Vibing out, catching up. Alright, speaking of vibing out and catching up, we gotta figure out if we're gonna do the vacation this year or not.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I have my time taken off still, so it honestly doesn't bug me either way, but right now it just depends if like we find affordable plane tickets, because I won't get too deep into the weeds on it on stream, but as you know, my husband and I ran into an unforeseeable, very strange situation with our legal names. God damn it.
What else was there?
There we go. Have you been watching the Chaos Emerald hunt that's been going on?
I don't know. I haven't really been paying attention to it.
It's been pretty fun to watch.
I hear that corporate Sega was trying to like put a bunch of slop into it or something.
No, it's people. Okay, I'll explain what people were freaking out over. There is a disclaimer within the terms of service that says that they have an AI just kind of like read through things to try to make a more quote-unquote user-friendly experience, but like that doesn't really mean anything, and you don't have to give them your real name either, so it's not like they can fish your data. You just sign up for it and you get text message alerts when they find a Chaos Emerald, and that's it.
Okay.
But yeah, they're not even really training AI, they're just using like an AI bot to like monitor like activity, I guess, and that's not really a big problem, to be honest.
Okay. I mean, I guess the concern is because Sega has been using AI for yeah, they're using AI for Crazy Taxi, I believe.
It is a problem because they have been dipping their toes into it, and so I can see why people would want to violently push back onto it, but I also feel like it's better just to know the information too and understand that it's also nothing really super malicious that's being done. Because there are companies right now that are just like, yeah, so because you made like a profile with us when you were like 12 years old before AI existed, we're just allowed to use any image that you've ever put up on here. So it's a really big gray area, and I feel like we should all just be aware of like what companies are doing and then make informed decisions from there based on that.
Thought the best.
This Circus final episode, the frog was a Mormon, like you said.
You weren't lying.
No, because I did did say that. I said that a few times. I'm like, oh yeah, I can't believe they made Ribbit a Mormon like that. And no one believed me. And then, like you said too, when you messaged me later, and you were like, I can't believe that was the least consequential thing about that entire scene.
Which, I mean, you did also say.
Yeah, I did say it was a non-spoiler.
Yeah. I read you said that that its placement was like right next to like an even bigger spoiler.
Yeah. It like is the catalyst to like the biggest plot twist I think in the show. Or I mean, it wouldn't really be a twist, more just like a reveal.
Yeah. Also say that my theater experience wasn't bad at all because no one was in the theater.
Really?
Which, I mean, I did kind of deliberately go on a later day because I figured that like the day of would be way too hectic.
We had a full theater. It was
people throwing popcorn at the screen. Or,
it wasn't chaotic. I wouldn't say it was chaotic or bad. It was a full movie theater with kids and cosplayers and parents, and then of course me and my husband's stoner asses just plopped right there.
I have heard that that some people did have assholes in the theaters they were in. So not everyone was that lucky.
Yeah, I mean that's just gonna happen when you go to like a big movie. I've been to, like I was talking about in some earlier streams, I've been to a lot of movies this year. A lot of them like on opening day even, and like they're just really like the type of people that you get sat with, you know. Actually, the first time my husband and we went to go see The Backrooms, we walked out and he realized he didn't have his phone, so we had to go back in the theater and go look for it. And when the guys behind us was like, oh, what happened? And he was like, I don't know, I can't find my phone. It like slipped between the cracks, and the guy was like, oh man, it must have fallen through the void. And then they pulled their phones out and helped us find it, so that was really cool of them. But like, yeah, I don't know, it's just all relative. By the way, I've seen Backrooms in theaters 3 times now. That's how fucking good it is. And thankfully, like, oh my god. So, people were really mad. If nobody cares about, like, spoilers for the movie, I can talk about the movie and the extended cut extensively. But if people still want to go see it, then I want to be able to give them that privilege. Full of kids and cosplayers. FNAF 1 and FNAF 2! Yeah! That's kind of why I didn't. That's why I didn't go see FNAF 1 and 2 in theaters. As much as I thought it'd be kind of funny to go see like a good bad movie. I didn't want to deal with the crowd. And Clark starts dialing your phone, asking if you have more async employees for him to eat. Yes. FNAF 1, I almost had a heart attack. The bathroom because of the realistic Springtrap cosplayer. That's amazing. No, there was like a lot of people dressed up as Pomni. There was like a Pomni and Ragatha couple, actually. They were very cute together. And there was obviously a Jax. My husband cleverly wore a purple t-shirt and his red sweatpants. And I thought that was really funny. He swears it wasn't on purpose.
Should have gone there wearing a red t-shirt and yellow sweatpants.
Oh my god. You're not
That
wrong.
would be really funny.
I went in red and blue. That's what I had blue. I had obviously like blue jeans, and then I put on like a red T-shirt.
I don't even remember what I was wearing that day. But other than that, it was probably not relevant to the finale.
Because Biscuit, he's not really into cosplaying the way that I am. So before we went, like about a week before, I was like, hey, instead of like cosplaying, do you want to like color code? And he's like, what's color code? And I'm like, well, it's when you like wear the colors of the characters, but you're not really dressing up as them. You're kind of representing them. It's something that like more religious groups will do, or even like people that just want to like casually like cosplay without actually cosplaying. And he was down for it. I thought it was really fun. I think you remember I made that Shadow the Hedgehog outfit to go watch the Sonic movie in.
I remember that.
But that was also like a challenge because there was a lot of kids that were like looking at me and wanted to stop and have pictures with me. And like I just have massive social anxiety, so my husband just helped me get out of there before anyone could walk up to me. But it was still cool to see people's reactions, and definitely just I like dressing up and putting on costumes anyway.
I wore my Shadow shirt to
Nice.
Sonic 3. So, that was how I saw it. Oh, and I also I had a loose lip moment in theaters during a certain scene near the end. I think I already told you about this.
I don't know. I don't really remember.
It was when the moon got destroyed.
Oh yeah, that's
I said the
right.
thing.
That's right. I had to like hold my I had to hold
couldn't
myself.
stop myself.
I had to hold myself back. Oh my god. I'm not gonna lie, if I wasn't with my husband, I probably would have said it out loud, but I had the knowledge of like I have somebody with me. I can't make myself an embarrassment. Piss on the moon.
I mean, I was just with my friend. I still couldn't. It
was too good.
It just came out of me.
It's hard to pass it up. Alright, so nobody has objected to me talking about the back room, so I'm going to talk about it. So like...
Miku does not appear in it, unfortunately.
Hatsune Miku! No, but Miku does appear in Deltarune. Anyway... I understand why a lot of people were upset by the extended cut release. Because well, basically what happened, Proto, is that there's this extremely professional looking film, like top to bottom. There's a few found footage sequences in there, but it's all like really well shot and it's really pretty. And then for the extended release, Kane literally took 2 weeks on his laptop and made like a YouTube video quality bit that honestly felt really out of place at the very end of the movie. It felt like he put a YouTube video into his movie and then they re-released that as an extended cut.
That sounded like a bit whiplash.
Yeah, and like, I don't know, my husband and I, we were talking about it on the way home, and I brought up that I don't have a problem with it being added, but like, I feel like it would have been better added at the very beginning of the movie, because it fits in with everything else. I don't know shit about Backrooms, why I didn't follow the topic. Oh, that's fine. Honestly, you don't have to know shit about the Backrooms to watch this movie. The movie kind of just, like, introduces you into the world pretty accurately, and then even if you have more questions, the YouTube channel is extremely, like, accessible. But like, my husband, for instance, did not give a shit about the Backrooms before he went and saw the first movie. And then we watched it together, and I kid you not, the next day I saw on his, like, phone's feed, like, Backrooms theories and stuff like that. I'm like, oh my god. What have I done?
It could be worse. Could be like the bootleg Backrooms movie.
Oh god.
I say like the Mockbuster, where someone was like trying to like cash in on the trend.
Oh god. I don't know. I don't know if I can repeat this joke on stream, but like we had me and Biscuit have an inside joke about what they would call the M-rated version of Backrooms. Like, you know how they always have like a porno parody?
I think I know where this is going.
They just call it the back
I think
shots.
the audience can figure out the punchline themselves. They can fill in the blanks.
But no, the movie itself is actually really good, and if you just like went and sat down, especially because now most people have seen it, so if you went and saw it in theaters, like, you probably are going to go watch it alone anyway. I feel like it would be a horror movie, like, even, like, you could probably vibe with, because it doesn't really get, like, super jumpy or super gory. It's just very, like, creepy. You just kind of, like, experience creepiness, and you're like, oh my god, I have a lot to think about now.
So I can probably stay on for like 10 more minutes, probably.
Okay.
Give me a heads up.
Yeah, you're all good. Dude, I know exactly what you mean, and like, that's what I mean with the whole thing, with the clip at the end of the extended release. I can't be entirely mad at it because it got me to jump without a jump scare. Now, to be fair, it's not the movie's fault. I have a deathly fear of fucking mannequins. I hate mannequins so much. And, I mean, Kane he used it really well. He just put it in a place that it really shouldn't be, and it really upset me and made me jump in my seat. But still, like, it's stuff like that where, like, I feel like it was just put in the wrong place, and if it was put at the very beginning of the movie, it would just feel a lot better. I feel like people would be less upset about it.
I'm learning a lot from you today.
What? Yeah, what do you mean you didn't know I had a deathly fear of mannequins? I thought that was a very public, well-known thing.
Like that means I'm gonna have to like make you like a custom Able figure and
oh my god,
give it to meet up.
I will destroy you. I cannot. I hate mannequins so much. They creep me out, dude. Oh wait, that's right. I wasn't playing with you. I was playing with my husband. There is this little like RPG Maker horror game where you're in a department store, like you work there, and there was this part where like mannequins kept like popping up like here and there, and I was like, I fucking hate mannequins. I really, really hope they all just stay in one place. And then I walk through this door, and they're all crowded around the entrance of the door, and I literally like screamed. And it's like not even a 3D game or anything. It was just the fact the mannequins were conspiring against me. Captain Clark Still Life is a crowning achievement of puppetry, costume, and CGI. It's freaking awesome. I think the fact that they got a real dude in a costume for Captain Clark is incredible. Alright. Have to remember how to draw hands. Don't watch the second Silent Hill movie. Oh, don't worry, I know. Zachy, don't worry. Do you mean my favorite horror game of all time that I've already seen? Don't worry, I know. That's probably part of the reason why I have a fear of mannequins, because I was exposed to that super early. That and like, I don't know, they just freak me out. They're people, but they're not people. And I don't like that. I don't like that they could just probably move on their own if they wanted to. Even though I know that's unrealistic by like an adult standard, it's just still like, they give me the heebie-jeebies. I don't know how else to explain it. Hand looks like shit. I'll come back to these. Skyrim mannequin glitch. It's funny. Now that is funny. But I would shit myself if like a mannequin suddenly started following me in any video game.
Alright, another news. I think I might be getting my own PC fixed tomorrow. Potentially.
Well, that's good.
So, might be able to finally stream again. If things go well.
It's all good in the hood. Everyone needs more Mega Man Endless.
Didn't make as much new progress on the thing I was working on, but that's okay.
Oh wow, this is a cursed mix. I'm gonna just leave it on.
Oh, boy, Seabat's next on the list.
It. Just gonna. Perfect. Faith, the unholy trinity might send you into a panic, and that game has only 8-bit mannequins. Fuck. I think I have heard of Faith before. It's an 8-bit. Yeah, wait. It's like coming back to me. Wait, that game has mannequins? That's evil. That's evil. No, I'm not. I don't go out of my way to like avoid playing games with mannequins in them per se, but like if I learn that there are mannequins in the game, it makes me want to play it less.
I guess it's kind of like me with my own fear that I may or may not have brought up. So I'm not sure if it's more of a fear or an OCD trigger.
Yeah, because like with me, for like again with mannequins, it is an extreme like fight or flight instinct with mannequins. It is on site. I don't know if that's the same feeling you get with your fear.
Maybe a little bit. Save that for now.
The first chapter has fuck that. And another thing, like, for instance, Eve is like one of my favorite like RPG Maker horror games. I know how to play it, and I know how to get through the story. You know why? You know why it actually still scares me to this day? It's the fucking jump scares and the mannequins. And it's the mannequin jump scares. I cannot deal with it. It's personally a terrifying game for me. Unless you hesitate. Fuck that. I'm running.
Speaking of running, I gotta get going, so
Okay.
catch you later. Hopefully I can catch the tail end of this.
Yeah, well, thanks for hanging out to begin with.
Yeah, it's fun.
So, yeah. I gotta try to schedule some more here soon.
Sounds good. Well, catch you later.
Alright, bye my dude. Alright, well, I guess it's just me now. Hello, chat. You are all my prisoners. Coily Lethal Company. I don't even know what that means. I'm assuming it's related to mannequins. And if the company worked like SCP-173, where if you don't look at them, they move. But they're big mannequin guy. No! Stop! The power of Christ compels you. God damn, dude, that's terrifying. I'm good with solo coasting for now, Zaki, but thank you. No walking. Oh, I just realized you do not have the line that you do not have the seam on your pants. Let me get rid of that. Or I should say, Vesp does not have the seam in his pants. There we go. There we go. It's looking pretty good. See, I know now too, like in the future, when I do a Newgrounds game stream, and I'm like, hey, can I get some game recommendations? You fuckers are gonna send me games with mannequins in them and not tell me. And then I'm gonna just have to suffer live on stream in front of everybody. No, I'm sure no one here would be that mean, but I mean, please don't send me games with mannequins in them. A mannequin Newgrounds games. I do not know any off the top of my head. It's just a thing that, like, just so happens to happen to me, I feel like. Where, like, I'll be playing a random, you know, game demo on wherever, like, not even Newgrounds, but anywhere, and it's like, oh, okay, yeah, cool, new horror game, yeah. Alright, let's see what's in it, and there's just mannequins in it, and I'm like, God damn it. Every time. Zach, you wanted Vesp to have the bi flag or the rubber flag? Do. Ah, gotcha. Okay, then I gotcha. There we go. For the Deltarune stream, I definitely plan to like start from the very beginning. But like, should I also go for the weird route too? Just for the sake of doing it? I heard though that doing the weird route, like in chapter 5, that actually leaves a permanent mark on your save file. Like not they like it doesn't they don't know what it does, but it just like leaves the mark there. So it kind of makes me nervous, honestly, to go through with it. It's like, what if it's like an Undertale where, even if you, like, say, do the genocide route and then you go back and then do the true pacifist route, you still get a totally different ending. Well, I wouldn't say totally different, but you still get a different ending than you would if you just went and did the pacifist route the first time around. So, that just leaves me with the question of, like, what is the game remembering? Yeah, we genuinely can't, like... I think Chapter 5 proves that we just can't predict anything that Toby's going to do anymore, like, period. Yeah, I've thought since the beginning of like Deltarune that it's going to kind of end up being like Undertale, where in order to get the full experience, you're going to have to play the game twice. I feel no matter what we do, we're going to have to play the game twice to get the full experience and or like true ending. Because that's what a lot of the inspirations too that Toby takes from end up doing, is that you have to go through the world again. And you're just wandering around this broken, decimated wasteland. So Bounds of Town that Chris and Noelle end up in Undertale. That's different. 3 playthroughs for the true ending. Now, see, that I could also subscribe to. I think no matter what the cost is that you're going to have to play it more than once to get the, like, true, full experience of the game. Oh, imagine if chapter 7's B-side just opens up with like a distorted version of Undertale's theme. Full circle. And down it turns out to be the Sonic and Knuckles to Undertale's Sonic 3. Imagine a world where you beat all of Chapter 7 and 3 times. You know, you beat through the game 3 times. And then suddenly you get a notification that says hard mode is now unlocked in Undertale. I think I would actually die of laughter if Toby, after all of these years, made it to where you cannot play the hard mode in Undertale unless you beat all of Deltarune. How did I draw her hair? Oh yeah, that makes sense. Deltarune. Imagine you put your Deltarune save file in your Doki Doki Literature Club. Wait. Doki Doki Literature Club game folder. And that somehow unlocks Blue Spheres mode. We're going several layers deep, boys. You know what's actually really funny, though, about Doki Doki? Is, so before Dan Salvaggio? Is it Salvaggio? I'm so terrible with Italian names. I'm so sorry. But, when the creator of Doki Doki, like, came out with the game, I didn't just know him from the Mario Maker levels he would make torture the Game Grumps with, but I actually have his old Smash Tournament mod on my memory card in the GameCube. It was just one of the weirdest things because, like, I recognized his name from somewhere that I'd seen before, but I'm like, I don't think it's the place I'm thinking of. And then I went back through to, like, show off my Smash mod at, like, a party because I had my GameCube on. And I pulled it up and I was like, oh shit, that's the guy that made Doki Doki Literature Club. Yeah, actually, Dan Salvato. It's Dan Salvato. That makes a lot more. Okay. Yeah, Dan Salvato. That's what caught me so off guard when I was like, hey, wait a minute. Isn't that the guy that made my Smash mod? It was really weird how I even, like, got any of that to begin with. Like, a long time ago, I was living a different life, and my roommate just moved in with me, my best friend type, you know, bullshit. We wanted to buy a GameCube because that was, like, our childhood console that we both kind of had taken away from us. And I went on eBay, and I found, like, a hot pink painted GameCube. I'm like, oh, this thing's awesome. And it came with a memory card and all the plugs for it and stuff. And the guy on the page was like, oh yeah, I used to travel with it to Smash tournaments, but I just don't really have the time for it anymore. He only sold it for 80 bucks. And it came with the mod installed onto the game, on the memory card. And, like, something about that, I was like, I don't know why, I feel like I just shouldn't delete this. Like, this is somebody else's save file that feels kind of, like, sacred to me in a weird way. So I just kind of left it there. And then I accidentally found it one day because if you go to the name entry area on the menu, it will just force you back to the start. And then suddenly everything is unlocked, but then you can only play the, oh goodness, excuse me guys. What was it called? Like the stages that were, like, accepted in tournaments. Like, you can only play those 3. But then, like, you have free customization with, like, the color you want to be and, like, other things with your name and whatnot. Oh yeah, and then also I can make it go widescreen mode. I again announced this to everyone in the back. I can make my GameCube go into widescreen mode. It's pretty awesome. Not necessarily, but there was a time where I was working at Goodwill, and Goodwill had this really stupid policy where, like, if a video game didn't have a case, they couldn't sell it. And I thought that was the dumbest thing ever, because there was a bunch of, like, Pokemon cartridges that someone had donated with no case, like stuff for, like, the DS and 3DS, like Omega Ruby, Alpha, or wait, is it Alpha Sapphire? All those games. The X, I had Pokemon X. I have Sun. Like, I have a lot of them. So because they were just gonna throw them all away. There was literally nothing wrong with them. They just didn't have a case. So I stole them all. And I've dispersed them amongst, like, my friends and family throughout the years. Like, I gave my niece, I think I gave her X, because she really got attached to playing that one. So I gave her that and 2DS, and then, I gave my friend Pokemon Sun, and then I think I have Alpha Ruby still. Native land ports if you have a insane enough set to do it. Really now? 8-player cart double dash using 2 keys. What the fuck? I mean, I could probably figure that out. That would be as crazy as getting 4-player to work on the PlayStation 2. That was always, like, the biggest drawback about the PlayStation back in the day. Is that, like, I feel like PlayStation and PlayStation 2 always had, like, a more powerful, like, game lineup. But, like, when it came to multiplayer games, like, unless it's 2-player, you're kind of just, like, shit out of luck. Because a lot of the other consoles at the time had, like, 4, you know, ports. Like, traditionally, with, like, I'd say, like, Super Nintendo and the Genesis, like, you only have 2 controller ports. But then here comes the N64 with 4, and then the GameCube later came with 4, and then the Xbox 360 has 4, and then the Dreamcast has 4, and then the PlayStation 2 has 2. I'm like, what was the logic there? I know the PlayStation 2 was a rushed little beast, but still. I feel like that was the one thing that kind of, like, really hindered it back in the day. For being people's top picks. Through add-ons. Yeah, that makes sense. I think I used to have one, but it never worked with my PlayStation. I think it was just a bootleg, to be honest, which makes sense, but, like, it was, like a block that you plugged into the PlayStation, and the block had more controller ports. But it literally never worked. I don't know if I was doing it wrong or something. Or again, if this was maybe something that was, like, made for, like, a European market, perhaps, and then just given to me, which is very possible. What I lost? Not too much. We're just talking about consoles and, like, LAN support and modding. Oh, that's sick. I feel like there's got to be a way to like mod a GameCube though, so it could play movies. It's funny, my PlayStation 2. I have two PS2s for a good reason. My first one was like my very first console as like a kid, so I've held on to it for a very long time. And one day, I guess it just woke up and said, you know what? Being a PlayStation 2 is overrated. I'm a PS1 now. And I'll play music discs sometimes, but I'm never gonna play a PS2 game ever again. Just PS1 games. Just music. So, that's what I can do with that PlayStation. The other one I bought to replace it so I could, like, you know, maybe perhaps watch movies on it and other things, will only play PS2 games and do literally nothing else. So, on one hand, I have a glorified PS1, and on the other hand, I've got a PS2 that does exactly as advertised. I wish I had a Saturn. I want to collect the Saturn, and I want to collect the Dreamcast very, very badly. There's so many games there that are just locked to those systems, and beyond like emulating, I would love to like actually own the physical like consoles themselves. Speaking of which, once I get the new PC build going, I have no problem with starting, what's it called? Starting up, doing like maybe some like Dreamcast or Saturn showcases. Just like playing games that would otherwise be like lost to the sands of time, if not to be shown off, you know? Like no one else is going to be playing this game. Kind of energy. Is expensive as fuck though. Yeah, I know. My ultimate goal with Saturn collecting is to get a Japanese system. That way I can just collect the Japanese games because they are marginally less expensive than the American ones. It's funny because a part of the I was learning Japanese back during the pandemic because that was literally a part of the reason why it was so that way I can understand like setting up a Japanese Saturn, because once I have that I can like do stuff to it, I'm sure, and like modify it so that way it's not like all in Japanese, or at the very least like I can understand like some of the games and stuff. Or if there's like something wrong with the console, I know what's wrong with it. Oh, welcome back, Zaki. I just noticed that Zaki came back. You know, speaking of like the Saturn too, you know what I would really like to see them do, like the next decompile project on, is Sonic Jam. And the reason why is because the Nights in the Dreams community were able to figure out how to actually like efficiently decompile the assets in the game and view them and look at them. And they found a lot of cut content, especially in the E3 build of the game that they found too. So that then leaves my brain into a direction where I'm like, well, if they found all of that in those games, what would happen if we decompiled Sonic Jam, which was kind of like a tech demo for Sonic Adventure? Because, you know, it's a fat chance, like, oh yeah, maybe they left something behind, but like, they really could have, and I don't think anyone's tried to decompile the games yet, so I feel like it wouldn't be like a stretch to do so. And like then that also leaves the other question of like, well, what if we decompile like Sonic 3D Blast too and just see like what's going on? Like I feel like there's just stuff hiding that we've never been able to see before because the Saturn games have just been so infamously hard to like hack into and decompile in the first place. No, best thing that could happen. Sony going under and Sega being like, hold my beer, making the Sega Neptune. I feel like at that point they would just call it the Sega Phoenix, man. It's how you come back. Oh, God. I love talking about E3 of 1995 because it is like one of the biggest events in all of gaming, like forever. So much drama happened, so many things were dropped that are just legendary. There's so much just like mystique even within some of like the legends, you know. Ooh, excuse me. Like I'll talk about my favorite incident. Have a little Ace history lesson. So, here, actually, I need to drink some water before I die of thirst. 1 second. Sony goes under and Sega brings back the weird Genesis 32X hybrid. That seems intelligent. Yeah, like, listen guys, we would all love to cope and like believe in that the perfect like Frugo Arrow future that we were denied would be alive if not for Sega Saturn. Like we could have the biggest cope in the world, but like that shit was doomed from the start. So first of all, you have to understand this was the very first E3. There had never been a gaming convention done like this before outside of the Consumer Electronics Show, which was really, again, more about consumer electronics and not about gaming itself. So there was a lot of things that people were just kind of doing for the first time and not really knowing what to do. They had never really had to go onto stage and like present something in the way that they were doing it. So, oh God, I have to find a reference for these hands. They're killing me. Okay, but what I was talking about, so Sega knows that they have this crazy product on hand. You know, the Saturn, all things considered, was a very impressive machine for its time, and like it's graphically impressive. The music, the audio quality is really good. Like that's why a lot of people really fuck with the music on Saturn games versus like their PlayStation counterpart. But here's the problem that happened. They decided that they were going to do a 3-hour-long presentation at E3. 3 hours long. I can't think of a single console that, like, presentation that has been anywhere near that fucking length to this day. But yeah, I mean, unfortunately, they kind of just let the nerds talk. So, you know, and then people, by the way, are bored to fucking tears during this whole, like, presentation. It's just, like, the nerdiest shit ever that people don't really even need to know about. Like, does it run? How much is it going to be? What games are coming out on it? Okay, bye. That's all you need to say. And they had to get so technical and so deep in the weeds. And, like, my guy, I cannot believe that they thought it was a good idea to let the nerds talk at the fucking panel. So, at the end of this whole thing, the very, very end, here's some context. Now, the Sega Saturn is supposed to release September of 1995 on a certain day, because then it would have been Saturn's Day, and it was a whole pun with September and the day it was on, and it was supposed to be a lot more thematic and well put together. But again, guys, because they let the fucking nerds talk for 100 years and then they were all excited and giddy on stage, they were like, all right, and now the Saturn's gonna go on sale on the convention floor. You can buy one right now. And they expected everyone to get super excited about it. Now here's the problem that happened with that. First of all, no one gave a shit because this whole presentation took 3 goddamn hours, and a lot of people were kind of just tired. And then the other thing is that outside of all of that, this caused a lot of consumer confusion, because he wasn't trying to say that the Saturn is out for you to go buy right now. He was saying that it was out on the convention floor for sale for that limited time. So then what happened was a game of telephone where people heard that the Sega Saturn was out early and then got excited about it and then went to the store, and then like KT Toys and Walmart didn't have the Saturn because obviously it wasn't out. So then this caused like a lot of stress with like Walmart and KB Toys, and I forget which one did this. I think it was Walmart though, that were like, we refuse to sell the Sega Saturn because you guys went behind our backs and did something fishy. Like they didn't warn anybody, they didn't tell their consumers, and they kind of again made it really vague when they were like, oh yeah, the Sega Saturn's going on sale right now. It's like what should have been said was the Sega Saturn is going to be on sale on the convention floor for a limited time. So because of that, that actually very much hindered their success in the US, because Walmart refused to sell them because of that whole situation. So yes, to answer your question, Sega did announce the Saturn the same day and released the console. They didn't necessarily release it in the States. They kind of, like I said, sold it early on the convention floor, and then people were confused about it. People were writing in magazines that it was the first sale when it wasn't. It was a whole situation. So yeah. Now let's take you back to the convention where you're right there then and there. You're Sega of America. You just got done with one of the worst fucking presentations that will ever be at E3. And then Sony, hang on real quick. This is hang on, just give me a second. Sony is their turn. It is their turn to come on stage and talk about the PlayStation, all that it has to hold. And again, the audience is not looking forward to listening to another 2 and a half, maybe 3 hour long presentation. So the CEO does something incredible.
I'm going to ask Sony Computer Entertainment President of America, Steve Reyes, to join me for a brief presentation. $299.
That's it. That's all he said. Because after all of that, the Saturn was $399. It was $399 in the year 1995. Which is probably, I think, if I remember correctly, that is accounting with inflation, like the price of a fucking full PS5 right now, if not more. So yeah, he went on stage, and the only thing he said was $299, and everyone cheered. There we go. I'm just readjusting the music real quick. Hang on, guys. There you go. Yeah, because, like, that's kind of the problem now, unfortunately. Like, Sony did absolutely body Sega in the home console market competition, but, like, now, because they feel like that they're untouchable, they're making really terrible mistakes that are going to push consumers away from them as a whole. I saw one of the top comments on that video was, it was, the cost of a single PlayStation game in 2028. It does blow, though, that the Saturn did do so poorly, because, again, there's a lot of games on there that I would genuinely love to, like, play or have ports of, but, like, you just can't play them because they were only made for the Saturn. No one ever made ports. There's really nothing wrong with it from a console point. It worked just fine, but it, again, had such a miserable fucking launch that it got boycotted from all Walmarts across the United States. And then also was just more expensive than its counterpart that ended up having, like, some big, you know, what I would call blockbuster games at the time, like stuff like Resident Evil, you had stuff like Tomb Raider, and, like, yes, that all was on the Saturn, but, you know, it was more advertised to be for the PlayStation. More people had the PlayStation, so it just is what it is. Oh, that, and then also Sony had Final Fantasy, so they were lost. They couldn't get a Sonic game out to save their fucking lives, dude. definitive versions. Yeah, I want Symphony of the Night. I want it. Sony, give it to me. Not Sony, Konami. The other one, give it to me. Oh, and that, and then also Resident Evil, by the way, on the Saturn has extra content that you can't find in any other version of the game. Even the most recent re-releases. It had like extra outfits for Jill, an extra boss fight. I think there was like a secret room somewhere. I feel like either a secret room or a secret area that they kind of added back into the GameCube remake. But yeah, outside of that, that shit's lost. I think Tomb Raider also has some like Saturn exclusive content. Yeah. X4, as far as I'm aware, the most information I've been able to find about people talking about it and the differences was an old Saturn forum where people were talking about how the music is slightly different. So in the Saturn version of Magma Dragoon stage, the loop actually goes on a little bit longer. And for some reason, the PlayStation version actually, it gets cut off early. And then same goes for not, oh god, what's his name? It's not Blizzard. Oh, it's Frost Walrus. Frost Walrus also has an extra couple loops in his music track. But other than that, I've heard that it's kind of a slower experience than the PlayStation version. And the PlayStation version is still ultimately the definitive edition. But if you want, like, extra music, I guess the Saturn version's there. But again, like, I also have not played it myself, and I feel like that's one of those things a lot of people have not gone out of their way to play, so we don't even know. Like, imagine if there's, like, a 20-year-old secret just, like, chilling there. Actually, almost 30-year-old. A 30-year-old secret is just chilling in the Saturn version of X4, and we haven't found it because no one's been looking for it. Yeah, that was the other thing, is that it lacked a lot of the graphical effects that the PlayStation had. But it also is fair too, because the way that the Saturn processed polygons was different from the way that the PlayStation processed polygons. So that also made it harder for people to program on it. Like, instead of like the pixels kind of being like blocks, it was more, they were more like instead of like I said pixels, but the polygons, instead of them being like this, they were all kind of like this. And a lot of people didn't know how to program with that. So like, funnily enough, the Saturn was more graphically advanced, but I could see maybe in a rush of trying to make like a port, like they wouldn't put in the extra time to transfer all of the graphics over. That's right. I forget, did the Saturn get a X3 release? Because I know the PlayStation got the X3 release. Was that PlayStation exclusive, or did the Saturn also get one? Lurk. Oh, hey, NX, what's up? Saturn got an X3 release. Oh, damn. This is just, we're just adding things to, like, the Saturn list, honestly. That, and I also found an entire forum full of like homebrew games for the Saturn that people are making. Those look really, really interesting. If anyone has like a better computer than I do and are interested in like checking out some of that stuff, I can send that over. Almost got a Panasonic 3DO release? Really? That's crazy. Cool. Oh yeah, let me do this too. Fine. Nice thickness real quick. April 96, it didn't, the 3DO was a commercial failure by the end of 95. Yeah. Poor 3DO. I mean, that was just the time though that like everybody was making a console. Everyone wanted on. They wanted some of the pie. They got the console created. It really kind of can be comparable to how like everybody really wanted to like jump on NFTs a few years ago. They were like super invested into them. Like, this is the future. We're gonna completely pivot. Every company had their own NFT, or we're kind of like doing something like that. And then like it all fell apart. They're all kind of just back to either doing their own thing or they're shilling AI now. Like, in the same vein, everybody had a console. We all know about Philips. Apple had a console. Oh god, what was the one? There was one console I remember learning about that I think it was a European, like a PAL region console exclusively. But apparently the battery that was used to make it is like a ticking time bomb, because the way that it was made, like the battery is so close to like where the like actual like power supply is, that eventually if you just keep using it, it will explode on you. Like, no questions asked, just erupt into like flames. So, and apparently like you can fix that if you just replace the battery as soon as you collect one, and then it's totally fine. But like, yeah, I wish I could remember the name of it. It's a obscure. Nah, any console that costs $700. Never mind, the 3DO didn't deserve to live. But released a new teaser an hour ago. Wait, really? That's cool. No, because Philips... It's not that Philips will, like, literally explode on you. The battery will just kind of, like, die out. And that makes sense because they use a standard lithium battery that has about a 25-year expectancy rate anyway. Now, that thing is a bitch to replace, though, because you have to solder the goddamn thing open to replace the battery. So if you're willing to do all of that to fix your CDI, then like, yeah, that's fine. No, the console I'm talking about would like actually like erupt into flames. And I think it's a little bit older than the CDI. And again, it was like a PAL region exclusive console. I think it was like the Amstrad or something, but I don't think it was quite like an Amstrad. It was something like it. The Gizmondo. Oh yeah. Wait. I think that's what we're talking about. I remember the Gizmondo. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's what we were talking about. Yeah, I remember hearing about that. I'm like, what in the actual hell? Because like obviously it's hard to know in the moment, especially when you're rushing something out product, how it will do, longevity wise, you know. But someone had to have known. Yeah, that makes sense. Alright. Yeah, fuck that thing. And then, like, I feel like nowadays people wouldn't really care if, like, oh yeah, whatever, 3 commercials a day, but, like, I already paid $400. Why? Wait. Didn't the Gizmondo, like, melt in people's pockets because of the cheap rubber that was used on it? Was that the thing about it? Because I think the Gizmondo is a different one, too. I'll have to go fucking figure that out. What console literally combusts, But yeah, I think it, like, turns into, like, mush in your pocket because the rubber casing was just really, like, cheap and fake that they used for it. Oh my god, that's heinous. The rubber melting after prolonged use. Yeah, I think because, like, what would happen is that it would get, like, left in people's pockets, and then, like, on a hot day, kind of like putting a Reese's cup in your pocket and forgetting about it just would kind of melt. Alright. So, I say I've got about an hour or so. I really don't remember the thing because it was number 1 pick for the worst console and game trailers. Ages old worst consoles, top 10. I think I learned about a lot of the consoles I know from, like, old school top 10s, but I just forget where at this point. Probably Larry Bundy Jr., to be completely honest. I used to watch those videos religiously. And then I was like, oh wait, he tells lies? People can just do that? People can just go on the internet and tell lies? But yeah. I am gonna take a quick break here. Just so my hand doesn't get too overexerted. Let me finish this little bit right here. I'm going to go make myself a little energy shake, and I'll be right back, and we'll watch a cool video with each other. Just figure this out real quick. There we go. This is a good place. Step back real quick. Hello, you. Oh, welcome back. Yep. All good, guys. I'm gonna just step out here real fast and then come back with like a chill video to hang out with. Oh no, sure I am not. Hey, what's up? What's up, everybody? Wait. Erase that. Perfect. Alright, now, if you give me one moment, we're just gonna hang out and watch some cool stuff together. Oh. Hang on 1 second, guys. I'm actually getting a phone call. Got like the best husband ever. There it is. Okay. It took me a second to find the video, but I have found it. Give me just 1 second. There we go. I have a very cursed YouTube recommendation list off to the side, so I thought I would spare the... There we go. So this is a good documentary on Nights into Dreams and why I think Sega... Actually, let me fix my microphone. Hi there, everybody. Why I think Sega Saturn preservation and decompilization. Wow, that is a mouthful. Decompilization is incredibly important. There's just so many things we don't know and are worth documenting, and even like artwork that is worth preserving overall. So gonna be just a little fun here. Everyone see what I'm seeing at least? Okay, yeah. Hang on, my stream is very behind on the phone. Let's just get into it, guys.
One of the biggest mysteries surrounding the cult classic Sega Saturn.
Oh, and then also I should just shout out the channel really quick for Digi Valentine. Wonderful channel, wonderful documentary. Please go watch it. We're probably not gonna watch the whole thing, just gonna like kind of get into the weeds of it. But yeah. I see a Knights. Yes, very good. And that's Knights spelt in all caps except for the I, which is lowercase. That is the only incorrect way to spell Knights.
Concerns a deleted boss character named Self. This boss was cut from the final version of the game,
Is everyone
and
here
very little
okay?
about him has ever been intentionally revealed by the developers. Once fans learnt of Self's existence, it sparked a search that has lasted the Knights community decades, which to this day still continues. With this video, I aim to not only provide context and a general timeline of events regarding this subject, but I also want to cover all the available leads that this mystery has given us, and where those leads eventually led us to. In addition, I want to debunk myths or fan headcanons so that only the facts are documented, and any personal speculations of my own will be clearly stated as such. Finally, I want this video to further open the discussion about Self and draw attention to one of Sega's greatest mysteries, in the hopes that by doing so, it will lead to new progress being made towards the search.
So I also want to say, before we really push onwards too, any and all theory like that you might have, everything that you might think you know about the development of Nights in the Dreams, leave it at the door. Don't worry about it. You're gonna learn here very fast.
I've been part of the Online Nights community for over 20 years, so to help fill in some of the gaps, I'll also be speaking from my own personal recollection, as well as provide my own opinions towards this topic. Grammar Warden, the person responsible for initiating the 2021 Nights Datamine project, has collected all the evidence so far regarding Self and has documented it on her website. If you find the mystery surrounding Self interesting, then I strongly recommend you check out her page on this subject. There is a lot of detailed information on there that is absolutely worth your time. The links are in the video description. With all that said, we need to start right from the very beginning to pinpoint just what it was that got the community searching
eyes
for Self.
That was a very bright image for no reason, honestly. It's also just very well
Sega and Sonic
presented
Team released
altogether.
Nights into Dreams in Japan on July 5th, 1996. 5 days later, on July 10th, the official soundtrack was released on CD. At the time, this version of the OST had only been available in Japan. The soundtrack included a song that was not featured in the game. Its title was Know Thyself.
Nights has such a good soundtrack too. It's so worth going out of your way to find the actual, like, full soundtrack of the game.
References to this song were documented on the old official Japanese Nights website, which was run by Sonic Team themselves. On the music production page, the song Know Thyself was listed as belonging to a boss that had been cut from the final game. And there it was, the very first tiny breadcrumb to hit the ground and throw us all down this long dusty trail. Or at least it would have been had the Western world been paying attention. You see, during the mid-1990s, the Nights community hadn't been fully formed yet. The internet was still in its early days after all, and a lot of us simply were not online by this point. Even if some of us had joined the World Wide Web, the chances of any Western internet user finding this information was ridiculously slim. Firstly, you had to know what Nights into Dreams was. You then had to have had a fair amount of interest in the game to want to research it in the first place.
That's also, again, a big problem too.
You then had to have knowledge
With preserving games and everything, is that there are so many internet forums out there that had things documented, and you know, receipts were there and everything, and yet because it was from a time where not a lot of people were online, it has just simply been lost to time. Like, we will never know. Like, the old Nights website, I think even he's going to get into, had some stuff on it that just wasn't properly archived. And yeah, beyond that, like, the only way I was able to find any information on, like, the differences between X4 on the Saturn and X4 on the PlayStation was an old forum post. Like, even Google's AI was like, sorry bro, I have got nothing. I don't fucking know what you're talking about. You're too nerdy for me. So, like, it's very important as people go along and find, like, these websites and stuff, is to archive them to shit. Because we cannot risk losing any of this information if we plan on, like, preserving games the way that we do.
That a Japanese website existed, and lastly, you had to have been someone who was able to translate Japanese to English, because there were no translation tools available online yet. With the internet in its infancy and the Nights community virtually non-existent, it's clear to see why the subject of Self didn't go global during the mid-90s. It wasn't until some years later during the early 2000s when the Knights community was formed online. Fans who dabbled in hacking had attempted to dip their toes into Knights' files, but were having a lot of problems. Working with Saturn game data can be a very tricky ordeal due to the way those old games were programmed, and so any major attempts at data mining Knights in those early days was mostly abandoned because nobody could figure out what to do. It wasn't all dead in the water, however, because there was a discovery, a very crucial one. Loading Knights' ROM file into a hex editor can provide us with some interesting bits of information, such as concept names for levels and such. For our case specifically, a list was discovered featuring concept names for the bosses that were used during development. Some examples are Frog the Dragon for Gilwing, Mantle Man for Jackal, and so on. Towards the end of that list, a strange name popped up. Self, a concept name for a boss that none of us recognized. This
There he
was
is.
our starting point.
Sorry, I had to
This
run and
was
grab
the
something
very
real
first
quick.
true discovery regarding Self that was made by the community in their initial attempt at data mining Knights. With the arrivals of such websites like eBay, the common internet user was suddenly presented with a convenient way to purchase foreign items. The Knights OST, which had once only been available in Japan, had found itself for sale on the auction site. Some Knights fans grabbed a copy of the CD when they had the chance and took notice of this odd song called Know Thyself. Dots began to link up. Some fans noted that the usage of the word self in the title of the song could possibly link to this unused boss, which was codenamed Self. Then once fans had accessed the Japanese Knights website and translated it, it pretty much confirmed their speculation. It had been sitting there since 1996, but we just didn't know about it. Self was a character that was cut from the final version of the game, and this piece of music belonged to him. The intrigue surrounding Self was alluring. As is the case with the unknown, we are compelled as humans to seek answers from within it. It can be for glory, it can be for knowledge, it can simply be for peace of mind so the brain can relax once a mystery is solved. Whatever the reason was,
Could be
Self's
because
removal
the
from the game had
mystery is
inspired
so
fans to look for him.
tempting!
Now that we knew Self existed at one point, the appetite for further discovery kicked in, and so began our search
Sorry, I
for
almost
some
went Super
answers.
Saiyan there.
Although the initial Knights data mine during the early 2000s didn't get very far, a sprite of particular interest was eventually ripped from the game. This asset
This makes me laugh. Does anyone know the context, the actual context behind this fucking thing before he gets into it? If you say no, I'm just going to continue and let the video play out. But does anyone actually know what it is? And I watched this before. Yeah, that's fine. So this is one of the funniest middle fingers I've seen in all of gaming. Just watch.
was passed around the community to see if anybody could identify it, though nobody could. With the search for Self in full swing at that point, fans began to speculate if perhaps this unidentified sprite had any connections to the unused boss. And with speculation comes a fine line between factual evidence and mere fan theory. I cannot remember the person responsible, but back in the mid-2000s while this sprite was doing the rounds, someone saw it and coined the term Mirror Staff.
Staff.
To them, this sprite looked like a weapon, a staff of some kind with reflective mirror-esque qualities. They speculated that perhaps Self used this staff as a weapon during the boss fight,
Yep.
and a portion of the fan base just latched onto that concept.
Yeah,
It didn't
yep.
matter that there had been no concrete evidence.
It's kind of like the same thing that happens with Deltarune now, where every time there's a new chapter out, the fandom will collectively have a hallucination and then just treat that as the canon. When like the Asgore running over Des with his fucking car meme, and everyone was just like, yeah, okay. Yeah, that's what happened. I don't know what's the problem with this. The same thing happens with Nights into Dreams. I feel like everyone, instead of having like a collective hallucination, we all have a collective dream. And then it's like, oh yeah, no, that's totally, yeah, he had a mirror staff. No, this is what it is, and it's a mirror staff. Don't worry about it.
Prove it was anything of the sort.
Don't
the theory
worry
was
about
adopted
it,
by a
guys. It's
majority
totally a
of the
mirror
fans as being an
staff.
item which had ties to Self, and that connection persisted for years, through different waves of fans even, until it got to the point that nobody could even remember who originally coined the term in the first place. It was just this element that had remained attached to Self by sheer force of the fan base's will. Looking back on that moment in time, I personally feel that the reason it spread as far as it did was due to the absolute lack of a strong lead in our search. The data mines back then didn't get very far, and Self was this amazing, eerie mystery that fans were incredibly eager to solve. So much so that it got to a point where a simple fan theory suddenly found itself spreading too far for too long until some people started claiming it was fact. Maybe out of desperation, maybe out of wishful thinking, or maybe even just out of ignorance. Either way, this alleged mirror staff had found itself strongly linked to Self, and it remained that way for a very long time. The lack of any strong leads to discovering Self opened up another theory, one that attempted to spin the discussion on its head. During the final boss fight where the player battles Wiseman, Knight dualizes with Elliot and Clarice at the same time, which causes Knight to split themselves into two separate beings.
I don't know how far along, because I thought he revealed it at the end of that part, but do you know what the mirror staff actually is, guys? Fun fact, it's not a weapon. It's someone's finger. It is quite literally a middle finger. It just kind of decompiled weirdly because, again, you know, when we're trying to, like, what's the word that I'm looking for? He literally just said it earlier, too. I feel kind of stupid. Data mine, but when you're trying to like data mine these things, especially back in the day when like Saturn data mining was incredibly touchy, you're gonna get weird stuff like the mirror staff. So that's why I said leave everything you know about Nights in the Dreams at the door.
Control one version of Knights while the computer AI controls the other one. Together you take on the Lord of Nightmares and use your combined energy to defeat him. A controversial theory began to suggest that perhaps Self was the other Knights. Unlike the mirror staff theory, this line of speculation came with some considerable points. Firstly, the name Self applied to the concept being shown within the fight, where Knights essentially teams up with themselves to take down the final boss. This theory also noted that Self's position within the listed boss data places him just before Wiseman, which is also when the second Knights appears for the first and only time in the game, just before Wiseman. This theory considered the possibility that Self in this list was never intended to refer to another boss character at all, but instead the other Knights. These observations were certainly interesting, and while there was no concrete evidence to support it, it was one of the more conversational theories that came out from the mid-2000s.
Yeah, it's a reasonable theory.
That is, until you take into consideration that the Japanese website clearly stated there was a removed boss, which then made this theory fall apart completely. Furthermore, if you pay attention to the second Knights during the Wiseman fight, you'll notice that they have a yellow star trail behind them, instead of Knights' canonical blue star trail. The reason for the yellow stars is simple. They're assets that have been repurposed from Reala's data.
Yep.
Reala, Knights' rival in the game, is able to perform the same moves as Knights, so to save development costs and cut some corners, the devs simply repurpose some of Reala's data to build the second Knights. So if anything, the other Knight is more linked to Reala than it would be to Self. This isn't to say the second Knight is Reala, because that would be a ridiculously stupid take. It was just the developers reusing assets, and there was nothing more to it.
Yeah, to like explain it in like, I guess, more simpler terms, like what they did is that they just took the same like animation and you know, base models from Reala, and they made the second Knights with that. Or even, I actually kind of have a game theory that it was the other way around, where they made the second knights first and then tested that in the boss fight, and then they used that data to make Rayola. It makes sense, you know, breezing assets back in the day was a lot more common, especially when you were pressed for time and had to make things very quickly. Kind of like the project that we're working on. You know, there's some assets that I've made that are just like color swaps or like slightly different from these other things, but it's all being made in good fun and, you know, it's kind of subtle. Like with Knights, you don't really notice it, and you're like, oh wait, shit, that's just kind of Rayola with a Knight's coat of paint on it.
Between mirror staffs and doppelgangers, the theories surrounding Self were a little loose and wild, but that was all we had back then, and that's all we were going to have until something else shook things up. "2007 was turning into quite an interesting year for Knights. After over a decade, a long-awaited sequel had finally been announced by Sega. With the Knights brand in the media spotlight once again, a lot of attention had returned to the community, and although we wouldn't have realized it at the time, some key turning points were about to occur. On November 18th, 2007, the Knights community was approached by DRX from the Hidden Palace website. For those that don't know, Hidden Palace are a community dedicated to collecting and documenting video game prototypes. One of DRX's acquaintances held in their possession a beta demo disc of Nights into Dreams that had been playable at E3 1996. DRX's acquaintance was looking to sell this beta disc and was wondering if anybody from the Knights community wanted to purchase it. At the hefty price of $1,500, it was well beyond what we could afford. Coupled together with the fact that the seller needed an answer within 2 days, and it looked like our chances of obtaining this rare item was about to pass us by, we simply didn't have the time or the money on our side. Then, one community member in particular stepped up. Travis offered to purchase the Knight beta demo and share his findings with us. Upon receiving the disc and booting it up, Travis noted that despite it being a demo that contained only 2 levels and 2 bosses, there were some noticeable differences from the final game, like a different character select screen and different item placements. The disc also contained a creation date of early May 1996, which was a few days before E3 that year, and just under 2 months.
I just want to point out, it's interesting to me that it says 60% on this side right here. It says 60%, but that's crossed out, and now it's labeled as 40%. That is really interesting to me.
Before Knights' official release in Japan on July 5th. With all this in mind, Travis decided to invest some time into attempting a data mine. Self was still the main target, and if this demo was showing slight differences from the final game, then it was entirely possible that assets belonging to Self could still be locked away in the data. Of course, with this being Saturn game data mining it was going to be difficult and would likely take some time. And while Travis was keeping himself busy with that, another crucial development was taking place elsewhere. 2 weeks later, on November 30th, 2007, an interview with Sonic Team's Takashi Iizuka was being held in London. The sequel, Knight's Journey.
You guys are not ready for this.
Of Dreams was in the run-up to its release, and Iizuka was hosting interviews to help promote the new game. With me and Trippy being co-admins of the community, Sega Europe's community manager at the time, Kevin Ava, reached out to us and offered to ask Iizuka some questions on our behalf, as we were unable to attend the interview in person. This was before the time of Twitter. Nowadays, you can just find a developer on a social network and reach out personally. In 2007, there was nothing really like that. The community teams at Sega were absolutely crucial at bridging a gap between the fans and developers. This was the very first time the fanbase would make direct contact with the people responsible for developing Knights, so when Kevin Ava offered to ask our questions to Iizuka, we absolutely jumped at the chance. You already know what we asked him.
What
Oh my god.
the deleted boss Self look like? Do we know? Apparently there was a deleted boss in the original game code.
Alright, and again, okay. So, let's back up. Let me give some context here, too. So, in this interview, Izuka has a translator. He needs everything translated to him because he only speaks Japanese. Allegedly. He only speaks Japanese. So, he had obviously like a translator. So like just keep that in mind.
Look like. Do we know? Apparently there was a deleted box from in the original game code for Knights one called Self. A deleted
Yeah.
boss character.
Why do you know?
What the fuck? Guys, what? Guys, what? Take that again. She's the deleted boss character. She's having a hard time understanding how to translate the word deleted. Right?
The deleted box from in the original game code for Knights.
She hasn't even translated this to him yet.
A deleted
Yeah.
boss character.
Why do you know?
That would make me shit myself. He forewent his translator and then spoke to him directly in English and said, "Why do you know that?
Why do-
Boss of Knights
Why do you
Self.
know of self?" Oh my.
Right. They know. They know. I think.
They? Who's they?
Who's they? Izuka is scary. That is scary. He knows how to ask questions and intimidate people. How intimidating is it that you are interviewing a guy who only speaks one language and he has a translator, and you ask him a question and he again just completely goes ahead of his translator and speaks to you directly in English? How? Terrifying. And this is the man, by the way, in charge of most Sonic projects these days. Have fun with that knowledge.
their fan base knows.
Izuka was clearly very surprised by the question. Throughout the whole interview, another person had been translating for him, but this question prompted him to go beyond his translator and directly respond to Kevin in English. For a short while,
Terrifying.
Izuka talks with his translator in Japanese about this subject before ultimately answering the question.
Terrifying. And like ultimately it's like, haha, you know, it's not really all that scary, to be honest. It's just like he was clearly just surprised to hear about it because he didn't expect anyone to know. But still, oh my god, I would shit myself if I was in that interview. It's like, who knows of this? How do you know this? It's like, brother, I'm just asking questions. I'm the messenger. Do not shoot me.
Correct.
Sorry if you got scared there, Zaki.
And also
Just
deleted.
idea.
Just idea.
Just
Didn't-
Just idea.
Yeah.
Just the idea.
So it wasn't
Ever
created.
created?
No.
No.
It was just
No.
We just-
I didn't.
Yeah.
Concept.
That's the idea.
So, apparently Self was just an idea but nothing more. That would seem reasonable, but as it turns out, it's not the full answer, because during his brief discussion with his translator, Izuka gives a more elaborate response, which our Japanese community member Seiya helped to translate. According to Seiya, the rough translation of the discussion goes as such. Translator: what is it? Was a boss like this in the plan for the original Knights? Izuka: yeah, it's true. I wanted to add a boss called Self. Translator: well, is it okay if I tell them in English? Izuka: okay, maybe Naka had told them about Self before. Translator: ah, so they know. But why was it deleted? Izuka: because the story of Knights had already been completed, and so the boss wasn't needed anymore. So, we removed Self.
Fair enough
The self
answer.
section of the interview was a confusing exchange which likely loses something in translation.
I don't know why, however, that we had to, why he had to respond in the way that he did. And like, I don't know, it's just a really vague way to respond. Maybe he felt like he couldn't talk about it deeper. Or maybe he just genuinely doesn't remember all that much because, like, the 90s was a time to be alive. Who knows?
But I'll try to explain what I personally think happened here. Sonic Team devs are under contractual agreements where they are not really allowed to discuss design concepts with anybody outside of the company unless
yeah,
special
okay, I
exceptions
forgot
are
he
made.
totally
With
says
Self technically
why.
being something that wasn't officially released in a final product, the character remained as an asset from the development period instead, meaning it can't really be discussed without potentially stepping into a legal issue. My personal take regarding this part of the interview is that Iizuka was completely stunned by the question because it was the first time someone from outside of Sonic Team had mentioned Self. Then in the confusion, Iizuka had to think quickly about how to answer it because if he says
Yeah,
something
my man
wrong,
got
he might
so
land himself in
confused he
trouble.
spoke
That's why the
English.
exchange of information was as broken as it was, and why I think his final answer was mostly trying to brush Self off as more of a concept rather than anything that was substantially developed. Izuka's reaction to hearing the name Self was instant, which led me to personally believe that the character was at the forefront of his memory, therefore making it something more prominent and inclusive of what Nights into Dreams would have contained, rather than a mere disposable concept character. I believed Self had more production put into him than Izuka had been leading on. That's when Travis came back with results from his attempted data mine. Firstly, the bad news. As could be expected at the time, there was only so much that could be done with the limited knowledge we had about data mining Saturn game data. Travis wasn't able to get very far, and whatever he was able to find only seemed to confirm that Self might have been there once, but no longer was. From what Travis could tell, the file pertaining to Self was mostly empty. The good news was he had made a notable observation, the first observation of its kind when in regards to
It's
Self.
mostly empty.
The
That
SFD file
is
that would have
literally
connected
0
to Self
bytes.
was spelt differently than how it had been spelt in the boss list containing the concept names. Self in the boss list was spelt with a PH at the end, however the file in this
do
beta
prefer the
demo's
PH
data
spelling,
was
to be
spelt as it
honest.
is grammatically meant to be spelt. S-E-L and F. It's a small detail for sure, but an important one if we are taking all of Self's details into account. And it's a detail that would further re-emerge on more than one occasion.
Alright, what time is it?
As the 2007 interview with
Yeah, I think I gotta call it time here, because it is getting close to my dinner time. Where is the window? There it is. Haha, old lady joke. But yeah, that was a good stream, guys. Go watch Digi Valentine, by the way. Shout out to that video, because it's really good. Even if you've already watched it, go watch it again. Maybe the real Self was inside ourselves the whole time. Okay. But yeah, thank you guys, for just showing up. I'm gonna get this commission done as soon as I can. I've got a lot of other art projects in the works here, and I'm just proud to have this little community. So yeah, I will see you all around here. Take care.